Absolutely. All right, we have 52 people with us right now. Greetings, everyone. My name is Chandan Perla, and welcome back to another, let's say, the stage event. Stage events are something which where we try to provide you that experience where you get on a physical, let's say, the real space. Here today with us, we have a really special segmented person. A person, let's say, every single day we watch a lot of memes and we just laugh upon. But making a career out of it is not something that's easy. And a person who stood out by making that, one of those people whom we look up to on Instagram, is with us today, Garb Malik. Hi, Garb.
Thank you so much, Chandan, for the wonderful introduction. These are kinder words than my parents will ever say for me, but happy to be here. And again, yes, I made memes for fun. Started in college. Again, in current times, the platform of choice is Discord, but in 2011-12, Facebook was still relevant and Zuckerberg was still relevant. But and yeah, here I am 10 years, I think 10 years later, still making memes. And very happy to be here with the people of Bluelearn. Have heard a lot about Harish and the people here. So again, matlab, I haven't thought of a flow. So if you
Sure. That's exactly where I wanted to talk with you right now. So we have 65 people with us. And okay, guys, before we start the session, I want you to respond on the no mic section. No mic section is just above the section where you're in right now, just above the stage. Okay, no mic. Can I see a number one over there? Can I see your response in there?
awesome. I can see Prateek, Vinde, and Danny. Some of you have a lot of cool names. I may go wrong with pronunciations. My apologies for that. And later on, if you want to correct me on the pronunciations, feel free. But again, a lot of you have probably just joined let to see what's happening. I'll tell you a bit about myself. I graduated from college in 2015. I studied at this college called BITS Hyderabad. And post that, again, I was someone who loved construction and civil engineering, and also partly because I was born and brought up in Delhi. And at that time, metro had just started coming. So I took up civil engineering and decided to not take up computer science in Goa for that. And this is still not the biggest mistake I've ever made. Then I decided to join L&T, realized that it's not something I wanted to do, and moved to the startup ecosystem, which was the first company I joined was Shuttle. Shuttle was, let's say, something like Uber Pool, but for buses, like 20 people sharing a bus going to office together, because remote working wasn't a thing then. And worked there for 2 years. My profile or portfolio or work job description changed 7 times in 2 years. Then I decided to quit, pursue stand-up comedy full time. So for 2 years I did only comedy. With prior to that I was doing a job sideways, and did my first 1 hour special, released 3 videos on YouTube. First video went 800K, next went 500K, third went 300K, and I'm like, great, this is progression, but in reverse. So I decided to work on the craft more, and then decided to join someone who was doing well. So a friend of mine, even though we had started around the same time, but obviously he did better. Like most other things I've done in life, I always have a friend who's doing better. And I decided to manage his career. This comedian's name was Kunal Kamra. And for next 2 years, I used to manage his shows, be the opening act in them, handle his legal cases. In case some of you are not aware, he does get into a lot of trouble with politicians, and so I would arrange interviews with politicians, get how do I say, get shows live, ensure that there, if needed, there is police protection, getting the right permissions. Then obviously when the Arnab controversy happened, I was there at the airport. Then we got sued by the Supreme Court, so and he was not allowed to come in court, so I went on his behalf. And I had decided to work with him so that I could learn more about comedy. But in 2 years, I learned more about law. So we then again uh, learned a lot. Then again, because a lot of lockdown was happening, so not too much comedy was happening as well. So I for first 6 months, it was hectic work in the sense that in 6 months we took 104 flights, and then we came back to sitting at home doing nothing, which is why I started scrolling and posting content on LinkedIn, which is the worst place for any comedian to be in. Because one, people are objecting that don't make this as Facebook. And the second is that other people are funnier than you are who are not comedians, which is very troublesome on LinkedIn. And yet they don't know they're joking because they decide to take Employee of the Month awards seriously. If any of you are working or if any of you get these awards in future, please don't take them seriously. They are just a sad excuse to not give you money. So then one fine day, I was scrolling on LinkedIn. Some people tagged me in a job post, and this job post was at a startup called Slice, and the title of the job was Chief Meme Officer. I'm like, he's like Rahul Subramaniam. Rakesh just said, yes, he is on LinkedIn for comedy. So I think only 2-3 of us were active on LinkedIn for comedy, but everybody, if you see the consultants and the kind of content they post and the kind of things they're happy about, or the kind of stories they say that like they meet a cab driver, but they ensure that they write a 6-page LinkedIn post about it and how they gave him life advice. So I decided to, again, coming back to the chief meme officer post. So I was like, this is great. And I've been sitting at home for a long time. I have run out of topics for comedy. I will interview for this position and try to make jokes out of this. Like, what will they ask in the interview? At least I will have some topic to make memes about, and I'll see whatever challenge. But the problem was they're hiring for a meme officer, but they're asking for a plain resume. I'm like, this is going to be boring. So instead, I decided to make 10-15 memes on the brand, attach it in an email, and mail it to the founder. Then again, after 5-6 days, I hear back from them. 3 days I interview, and my goal was to find some interesting content so that I can write a stand-up bit about it. And in case I reach the final round, then I will ask for some random amount of money, which they will obviously refuse, and then I will go on back to comedy. The only glitch, or let's say the only thing I did not plan for, was that they said yes to the money. And then I was like, oh, okay, they are serious. Should I consider it? And then obviously, because this is a very important decision. Like you should think through it whether you want after, because I've been out of the workforce for 4 years. Going back to the 9 to 5 was a tough decision. So I decided to take a long time to think about it and replied with yes in 6 minutes. I'll keep taking breaks because I need to drink water also. But yeah.
Garv, so here's just a suggestion. If you want it to be, let's say, two-way conversation rather just you speaking and looking at the messages, I'm always there. If you want to take the direction in any way.
So matlab, like after in the next 2 minutes, we'll start inviting people on stage, and they can
Absolutely.
also, and we'll
Yeah.
make it interactive. So that's how I landed up at Slice. I'm still at Slice. It's been 8 months. The company is growing well. I'm doing fun, like not just doing memes. I'm also looking after influencer marketing. Then I realized the amount of money we were spending on influencers. So next day I started making reels. And somehow first two, like I had been doing stand up for 4 years. I had probably performed for more than 1 lakh people live, got good feedback from at least 40,000 people, and yet I had 3 or 4,000 followers on Instagram. Then I put two reels, and then I shot up to 10,000 followers, and currently have reached 26K. But basically, I'm going on with reels. But prior to again joining Slice, I was also running my own venture, which was we all have seen Canvas Laugh Club, and we've all seen, let's say, we've at least heard of live comedy shows. I started to run them on a Netflix model as a subscription on Zoom. So for 7 months, we did a Zoom show every day. We had 100+ comedians come in every day, new audience, and obviously Instagram username. Yeah, I'll put my credit. Pratik Slice, yes, the credit card company. My Instagram user. I'll put all my links later on. And that's basically been my journey. I'm still at Slice now, opening to questions for all of you. I'll also put my what do you say, social media links in the no mic section in 2 minutes, so that you can also see what I've done. Then you will probably have more relevant questions also. And Chandan, you can feel anybody who raises hand, please invite them to stage going now.
Definitely, we'll do that. Yeah, so what do you think about? I mean, I have a few questions with regards to the, let's say, the CMO and the company overall. This is the only company that I see which sells a feeling rather, let's say, it's all finance based. It's a credit card company, and they sell the look of a card rather the benefits of it. What do you like to comment upon that?
So thing is that there are people who currently use credit cards, and they are the ones who probably mostly not be swayed away by looks. They've always used, let's say, black and dark and metal credit cards, and they're mostly serious people in life who are billing companies, going traveling to places in suits, sitting in the airport lounge to not be disturbed. We realize that there are a lot of people, let's say, either the people who are in startups, young people, or people who would not usually get a credit card. Well, again, we might have put the color forward, but we also try and push our features as much as possible. It's just that the purple is so bright, the features are a little overshadowed. So that was the goal, and the idea was that most banks want a credit score and a history and a good bank report to give you a card. We sort of thought, okay, let's try and give people another way to get cards.
Now I understand the approach. I totally understand the way you, let's say, I don't call it a stereotype, but subjecting the entire section to be suits, airports, busyness, and not a lot of appreciation to colors, art, this side of it.
True, Malab, again, that was how it started. Malab, I think Slice was a company that had been working for 4 years. Earlier, they started in giving credit to college kids, and then they soon pivoted to a card. And just a disclaimer for everyone, it's not a credit card on financially or on principle. It's let's say a prepaid card. What we do is we get it's a personal loan loaded on a credit card. So, but for the user, it functions like a card. You spend, you get cash back, you get offers on some places, and at the end of the month, you pay the bill. So, in using it, it's like a credit card. But if you go into the fine print, if you prints, then it's not a credit card, it's a credit line.
Correct.
Thank you.
So we have
Thank you for
Rakesh
the
here from
slice.
audio.
Yeah, brother. I am from Chennai, but thank you for the elaborate description of Slice, brother. So, brother, what was the interview took when you was the chief meme officer of Slice? What did they ask questions?
So I had already sent in the memes, which was like basic as we say, proof of work is more important than anything else. Then the interviews were more of why I want to do this, because somehow I had done a few shows in the startup ecosystem. A lot of tweets had gone viral till then. So most people knew me by then. It's just that they wanted to understand why I want to come. And they also had worries if someone who's been in a 9 to 5, they know that they will stick to a job. But artists have a habit of running away quickly. So they just ask questions about how long, what do you see yourself becoming, and all those things. In terms of content, again, I gave them what I had created for my own self. They didn't give me a written test per se. I had sent memes in advance. So more of questions were on cultural fit and if I was willing to come. So yeah, if anyone here is planning to build a personal brand, do so. Uh, Literally cuts off the number of rounds or resume short. It's like there'll be 100 people who will be evaluated based on resume, but if you have a personal brand or if they already know you, you have bypassed that difficulty. I hope it answers that, Rakesh. If you have more questions, feel free to ask.
Brother, like how to apply now, brother, because I'm also unemployed because of COVID and I'm still studying in IIT, but I'm not getting a job. How to apply for meme officer? I will also sit beside you and I will become your PA. That would be better for me.
No, dude, never try to become I've been PA for 2 years. It is learning at some times. Like in case of Kunal, it was a learning experience for me. But at the same time, in case you want to go into memes, there are two companies that are hiring, Boat and Hike Messenger. They are hiring publicly. Two companies reached out to me privately because they didn't make the job opening open. One was Z5, though I'll not recommend working there. I hope nobody is there from Z. But and That's also there. Plus, there are companies that do meme marketing itself. So there is Baba Laba Dub Dub, Meme Chat, and two more companies. Rajnikant versus CID. That's a legit company. Uh, they they are agencies which help other companies do meme marketing. What you can also look at the other applications of memes. So there is one new tool that has come up which is called supermeme.ai. It's by a product manager from Chennai only, I think. Sanjeev NC is his name, and they are trying to sort of use GPT-3 to build memes. Uh, and meme chat obviously is entering the NFT market space. So these are the places you can consider if you want to work in memes. Otherwise, depending on what your interests are, and let's say either for a specific community, like my memes and jokes were targeted towards the startup world. Whether if a company raises a fund, I'll probably make a meme around it. Or if some company has some incident, or let's say in startups, cred is in the news every few months. So if you make a meme on cred, then it sort of travels. So depending on what your interests are, if you want to work in memes, you can sort of consider it.
Garb,
You
you're not audible.
okay?
Yeah,
Uh,
you're
till,
back. You're back.
till where could you hear me? Say the last few words. I'll continue from there.
Yes, you were talking about cred.
So since cred is in the news, making memes about that will sort of travel in the startup ecosystem. Now, Rakesh, you could pick a particular area which you are interested in and make memes about that. It could be Web3. It could be memes about front end development. It could be memes about design, UI, UX. Let's depending on what softwares you use. It could be memes about coding. Like there are a lot of meme pages that do well on about coding as well. Uh, and then follow the people in the same industry and also reply to their comments on whatever platform you choose, so that you get noticed, and then your work would sort of, you'd be known for memes there, and then who knows where opportunity takes you.
Brother, so I cannot be your PA. Thank you for that.
I wish, man, but being very honest, I am also not making too many memes at Slice.
Yeah, nice, brother. Yeah. Nice talking to you, brother. Pleasure meeting
Same,
you.
same here, Rakesh.
All right, so that's how we want the conversations to be. I mean, bring more fun onto the table, and yeah. So next up we have
It's Kashu Basit and
Ritik.
Ritik. They're
Yeah. Bringing him. Ritik, all you need to do is just like press on the button. Yeah, you're here. Ritik, yes. Go ahead.
Hi, Chandan. Hi, sir. Actually, right now, what I'm doing is I'm going into like stand up. So, I want to ask, like, if I want to go in this creative field, what are the means it's a skill based field industry, or it's more about your exploration of experiences, or how you observe, means how to go into deep into that comedy space, uh, more in stand up, if you know about it.
sure, sure. So, in the past 7, 8 years that I've regularly done stand up, the beauty of stand up is that anybody and everybody can do it. There are no prior qualifications, and all you have to do is find a live. There's this thing called open mics in comedy. They happen virtually also on Zoom, on Discord, and they also happen in real life in small cafes. Depending on which area you're currently living in, you can find open mics. If you don't find one, you can start it. You have to just write 5 minutes of original jokes, sort of rehearse them, check, test them on a couple of friends before you go on an actual stage, and you keep iterating. You just record your audio, so you'll know that what are the parts that are getting a laugh, what are the parts that are not. The idea is to just start writing, keep writing, and then removing the parts that are not funny or rewriting them till you get a dense material or a dense story or a dense set of lines which are getting you laughs every, let's say, 12 to 15 seconds. Because then you know everything, by then everything unnecessary has been removed. But stand up, again, it usually takes at least 6 months for everyone to find their feet and comfort on stage, so you have to keep doing it for a while. And just do open mics, man. Write more jokes. You can watch a little stand up as well, but at the end, writing your own original thoughts is more important.
Actually, I'm doing open mics tomorrow I also going in open mic, but I have done 2 3 open mics, and before that I have performed in my colleges. Like uh, I commit myself that I can make people laugh, or I can do better. But the thing when it is coming writing, I'm unable to do that. Means I feel more comfortable in on spot, like on spot creating comedy, or on spot stand up. Not repeating the same joke, because it gives like it's remove the feel which I am feeling when I'm giving it just instant. So how to tackle that? Means how I will do start writing and making it more uh, reality, or making it more like the instant one on stage. It's a practice thing, or it just be like I have to do it.
So again, matlab, there are again. I will not deny stage writing is not real. There are a lot of jokes that come to you right when you're performing only. But
Hmm.
what I do know is that if you're every time you're doing new things, which you should always, whenever you're taking stage, do something new for sure. But when you have to do longer acts, let's say, if, I think in open mics your slots are usually 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you aim to do a 30-minute show yourself, it might be difficult to, let's say, create 30. Even if you are able to, you can, let's say, do a better job for the, if you feel that the impromptu thing is getting you, let's say, 5 laughs a minute, and it's the densest possible, and everybody's
Hmm.
having a great time, and you feel that you cannot do better, then it's fine. But if you do record whatever you, I'm not saying, okay, if you don't feel like writing, at least record what you do impromptu, go back,
Yeah.
listen to it, and think about if there's anything that you can improve. If you can, then writing is the way to do it. If you think that this is the best possible, then matlab, keep entertaining audiences, man.
Okay, means it's about your style and your comfort and practice. Means how many times I practice in front of audience, it give me more comfort and remove that nervous zone which I'm feeling. Yeah.
Not just the nervous zone, but also, let's say you do something in front of the audience. Let's say you make a joke about, let's say, that cafe or that weather, or let's say something that happened that day. Now, later on, there is a chance that you get another thought which is better than the thought you presented there.
Okay.
Most comedians I know, they've spent
Hmm.
somewhere around a month or two to even 2 3 years just perfecting one particular joke. So, like, if you decide to release material on YouTube, you'll realize that most people who have released videos, they
Hmm.
are done performed at least 100 times. Each word is perfected, where to take the pauses, and what if it's a story, then you explore different angles. Like, okay, can I, let's say, get this person beaten up, or does this person get arrested, or does this person go missing, or does this person sleep? So you try 4 5 angles and then see where the story is more interesting and funnier.
Okay. Okay. Actually, I would really want to learn a lot about this. So I hope I we will connect if
You
we will.
can you can DM me on any social media and we can have this discussion in detail. But keeping the interest of everyone else also in the audience, if there's anything particular that you guys want to know about, whether it's creating a career in content, whether it's anything about creating content, you can either raise your hand or leave messages in the No Mic channel, and we can take it from there.
Yeah, that's why if I will surely connect with you on social media. Thank you, Garv Malik.
No problem, Ritik.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Uh, we have Kashu Basit. I'm not sure, buddy, if what's the right pronunciation for it, but ask away. Hi, Kashu. Your voice is very faint. You'll have to be louder. And then, is it only me, or you also can hear him very
No,
faintly?
no, no. It's just so faint. Garv, in the meantime, shall we move to the next person? By the time
He
he
can
sits
first.
in.
Sure. And I'll also answer Hridaya and Rakesh's questions till then. How to deepen voice? There are voice modulation exercises, there are courses, there are people who are full-time voiceover artists who take out multiple voices through them, like they're the ones who help in movie dubbings or who are the voices of cartoon characters. So it's again a journey. I personally haven't taken it. I was not very well, not very enthusiastic about that skill, but it's definitely helpful because especially even in stand-up, if you're showing two or three characters on stage, then a voice change really helps. Taking Rakesh's question, how to start a career in comedy from down bottom, which you can't see. Well, man, you as long as you can see a screen or paper, you can write 5 minutes of jokes. Find at least two people to tell them to. If you have friends, great. If you don't, find an open mic because when you start comedy, even if you have friends, eventually you lose them. Uh, Now I think Tanny is on stage, so Tanny, feel free to ask.
Yeah, hello, Garv. So I had just this one basic question. What would you like to suggest somebody who wants to practice their skills as a stand-up comedian? Like, where do you agree with with my query that the same jokes that work in your friends, it doesn't necessarily mean that people will laugh at the same jokes if performed on stage. And if you'll ask about me, like in my 3 years of school life, I've hardly found 5 opportunities where I can try my luck or perform or competitions. What would you suggest a newbie?
Right. So first, I agree. The jokes that works in your friends or even audiences it change. So when I started stand up, I was performing only in my college, which was again engineering students. So a lot of my jokes had engineering references. Then I shifted to Bombay, and I realized none of those jokes worked because not a single person in the audience was an engineer, and which is why context is important. Then that's when I started writing jokes which would appeal to a general audience, let's say, and because not every time the audience is going to be engineers. So again, things that work in your friends will not may not work outside. So which is why you perform in open mics and write jokes that could be understood by people that are not your friends. Second, coming to the opportunities, yes, initially it is tough to find those opportunities. Luckily you are in a Discord server with 50,000 people, so even if you can request the admin to, or let's say, I think I saw an open mic event in sometime in the past in the event section. So you can request them that we want to do open mics, find two or three more people who want to perform. Because let's say you'll be performing 5 to 10 minutes, but if everybody's coming, they want a show that's at least 30 minutes. So get 4 or 5 more people. If you want, one of the days I'll also drop by to host the mic and ensure that the show flow goes on. Try to get one experienced comedian so that they can keep the audience held on. Otherwise, if one comedian's jokes are not working, then people might drop off. So get one or two
Isn't it
experienced.
actually different from the physical experience? Like a lot of comedy, it also involves your physical aspect as well. And not
Like,
just physical aspect, there are types of comedies.
agreed. There are for a lot of jokes to work, your expressions need to be visible, which is why Zoom mics is something that I was going to suggest next. The idea is that basic writing can be checked in audio as well. Obviously, when it comes to Zoom, your facial expressions can still be checked. For a proper full stand-up experience, you will need live books. If I may ask, Tani, which part of the country or the world are you in?
I'm from India only. I'm from Uttar Pradesh, Kanpur.
Uttar Pradesh. Kanpur, no? So Kanpur, mein, I think there are one or two more people who perform. Otherwise, uh, there are regular shows that keep happening. I think there's an Oriole Entertainment is an organization that keeps organizing shows. They organize Bassi shows. They organize Hush Gujral,
Yeah,
Vijay
yeah.
Yadav, and all these comedians are
Great.
organized by these guys. So speak to them. I'll connect you if you DM me on social media. They'll help you find a place, or you can also just speak to a cafe that we'll do a 30-minute comedy show for your audiences. Offer to do it free of cost if you think all comedians are young, and try jokes there. You can even do two shows in a day or ask them whatever their off days. Let's say if they feel ki Monday or Tuesday that cafe is not getting customers, so tell them that we'll promote the show, you also promote the show. One more reason for people to come to the cafe on Monday and Tuesday. Perform those shows live in front of those people. uh, I personally have even I used to sit in a co-working to write jokes. So what I used to do was go to individual tables where teams are sitting or they're doing work, and whenever they're taking a break, Just take 5 minutes of their time, test the jokes on them, record the setting to see where all they're laughing, and then come back, rewrite, and then go to the next table with the next version.
Oh, okay, one last question. What about the fear of failure? Like initially, I haven't been to a lot of open mics, but I sure have been to competitions here and there, whether in my school or college. Open mic is a thing that, like, like, where do I begin it? If you understand me as a new comedian.
So, if there are open mics happening in your city, request the organizer to give you a spot. If there are open mics that are not happening, start an open mic on your own. At the end, what an open mic needs is 3 to 4 comedians, hopefully one experienced comedian, and at least 4 to 5 audience members.
It's
And
about the courage aspect that I'm talking about.
the courage is something that you will only have to find out. If you really want to do it, you can take it out. I can probably tell you, I can probably, ask you to listen to some motivational speaker before going, or a song, or anything that gets you going. But that's going to be a temporary fix. The real reason for you to continue doing it will have to come from inside you. That what is the reason that you want to continue doing comedy? There are a lot of people who try it as a hobby, do 2 3 open mics, just like let's say I would decide to probably play golf or go archery. We don't want to become archers, but we went in a mall, there was an archery arcade game, so we tried. But people who want to become archers, they show up at the practice range every day because they want to become archers. So you'll have to decide if you want to become a comedian.
Thank you so much for your time, Gar. Thank you.
I'm sorry, maybe this might not sound helpful at this point, but probably after a few attempts, I hope you find clarity or the reason why you want to do it. Hi, Rupsa.
Hello, I'm audible.
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting. So, I just wanted to ask that you can't be always laughing in life, and every time there's nothing going to be special or interesting in your life that you can share with people. So, at times we feel like we are short of content. May it be whether we are creating content for YouTube or we are going for a startup or something like that. So, sometimes we feel like that we do not have anything to tell people. What should we do? So, what do you do in such cases? I mean, does it happen to you?
Uh, it definitely does happen to me. The last time it happened to me, I gave a job interview and somehow got hired. But that's not the way I will suggest to you. What I do know is that at the end, we need 15 minutes of content, and we've at least had 10 to 15 years of life that we remember. So, and in the rare case that so how I do it is if later on you can probably go and watch one of my recent reels. The reel which said was that my flatmate's girlfriend got COVID, and so I'll tell you first what the real incident happened was. The real incident was one of my flatmates got COVID. All of us got tested, and none of us had COVID, and we were surprised because we all live with him. That how come we didn't get COVID? Then I started thinking to myself, how could this be worse? How could this situation get worse? Now, I thought of multiple ideas. Let's say our cook got COVID, or let's say his girlfriend had COVID. And then I thought, okay, what if one person's girlfriend gets COVID, he doesn't, but his best friend does? It's going to be an awkward situation between them. So, if you don't have something interesting, imagine the worst possible. We call it what if, and you'll have something to talk about. Not everything has to be real or that has happened. Cook Shaulak,
Okay,
again.
so basically, you have experienced something in life, and if it's not interesting, then you just make another world out of it and then deliver it to people in a humorous way, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what do we have to do for it? Like, do we have to work on our imaginating power or something like that?
Just overthink. Well, I know it's usually a bad thing, but here overthinking helps. If we can do a live demo. Tell me anything that happened with you in the last 3 days, Rupsa. Even if it's boring.
Okay, so I just went to the college. I just had my lessons and I just came back. It was so boring.
All right. Uh, does your college ask for identity proof in the to at the entrance?
No?
No. So you can just walk in.
Yeah.
Okay. The professor who was teaching, they came on time.
Yeah.
Okay. What subject was it?
It's physics.
physics. And what are you studying, if I may ask?
I'm majoring in physics.
You're majoring in physics.
First year.
First year. So every teacher is expected to be from some domain of physics.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now imagine if one teacher comes and starts teaching chemistry.
All right.
Now you would think, okay, maybe did I come and sit in the wrong class? Was I too sleepy? Then you look around, you
Uh,
see. Well, that I think that would be, or what will be the first thing that would come to your mind if the teacher started teaching chemistry?
I would be like, what the hell? I mean, am I in the same class? I mean, I used to sit before this. I'll be like clueless.
Correct. So what will you do then?
I would just ask somebody like,
Is this what class is this, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Now there are two things, there are two answers they can give. Either the class that you're supposed to be in or a different class.
yeah.
Okay, if they told you that you are in the right class, then the story ends. So pick the worst option, which is you're in a different class.
Okay.
So now you're sort of going on a story. Now, if let's say this is hydrocarbons,
Hmm.
now what will you do?
I just don't have any idea about all of that because I'm a physics student and I do not understand something
Correct.
very
So
different from.
will you continue sitting in the class? Will you tell the professor, sorry, I'm in the wrong class and go out? Or what? Or will you?
Maybe I think I would be pissed off in insecurity that what would the professor think and I'm sitting in a wrong class and that between the class I'll just like
You'll just sit and attend the class, right?
yeah I think so. I mean most of them
Correct.
like let's attend a 1 hour class and then we will move out. Nothing would happen. The teacher would not know.
Correct. Now, what's the worst that can happen in this situation?
I stand up in front of the whole class and just say sorry sir I'm in the wrong class.
Correct. Also, if you're sitting, you want to pass that 1 hour class, and suddenly the teacher asks you a question related to chemistry.
God.
It gets worse,
Yeah.
right? But for
Yeah,
the
it gets worse.
Chandan, as a viewer, is it getting more interesting for you?
Definitely, definitely. I'm loving this scene.
Exactly. So when you see, comedy comes out of the fact that you see the main character failing or getting into more trouble. Like at the end, even if you take most movies, Rupsa, tell me your favorite movie.
3 Idiots?
Three Idiots. Now, in this case, these guys, if you remember, uh, when they come for an exam half an hour late and write for half an hour late, and he refuses to accept their paper.
Yeah. Yeah, I
ठीक
remember
है?
the scene.
ठीक है? Now, what they could have chosen is to stay at the hospital and later give medical reason to the college and say, sir, we had a medical emergency. His father was in the hospital. Please let us write the exam again. Worst case, college would say repeat 1 year. That
Yeah.
would have been a boring ending. They thought, okay, let's
Mhm.
make it worse. Let them go on a scooty outside India Gate, 3 people without helmet, reach the class, try and write the exam. And then now the teacher could have also said, Ki, okay, I'll accept your papers or not accept it. And they could have
Hmm.
taken the papers back with them. But then they wanted to make things worse. So they jumbled the papers.
Yeah.
It's not logical, but the worse it gets, the more interesting and the more fun it becomes.
Okay.
So
Now
now
I know.
imagine, so now if the professor asks you a chemistry question, you can either say that I am not from this thing, or you can decide to give a random answer which is related to physics.
Yeah.
So you keep on carrying the story forward, and
Hmm.
in real life, all you did was just go to college and come back. But in your imagination, you sat in a chemistry class today and you were asked a question.
Okay.
We can try
That's
this
really
again.
interesting.
If anyone else also wants to try this live demo, I'm more than happy to do it. You can raise your hands, come up, and we can do one more story like this. But
So
Kash,
I would like to give like a one sentence thing. Entropy is directly proportional to interest. Would you consider that?
for sure. Now, either the professor can question back simple interest or compound interest. If he doesn't, if he doesn't, you question. And now the professor is confused. Like, when did chemistry become finance? And then you try to convince him that he's in the wrong class.
Oh God. This is insane.
And imagine now, in real life, it may not happen, but imagine if the professor gets convinced. And he goes out to the peon and goes to check, isn't my class supposed to be in lecture hall 102? How is finance sitting in 102? He goes out to check and you get to run out of the class. End of story.
Yeah.
Kashu Basid, go for your question, man.
Yeah, I'm audible now.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry for earlier. So basically, we have one thing in common. I would like to mention it. I'm also a civil engineer. You mentioned earlier that you were also, I guess,
Yes,
right?
we both believe in Bob the Builder supremacy.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been feeling kind of same. I recently finished my degree, and I've worked for like a month, and I'm not feeling that it is for me. So it came to me as a shock when you said that you have a job making memes, right? And in that field, which I had no idea about. And I feel like I have a lot of knowledge of memes because even when I talk to people, I feel awkward because they don't understand. Because mostly I talk in the language of memes now from the last 1 year, and only one friend of me understands what I'm talking. So basically, I wanted to ask, so how do I start? For example, I know memes. I have some basic editing skills also. I can make memes also. So how do I start as a career? How do I start in the field of memes?
Again, so thing is that there are some jokes that I write for myself, and there are some jokes that are written for capitalistic principles. This one of how Abish Matthew said it to me was one for the kitchen, one for the soul. So even though we might be making memes that might make sense to us and our friends, but there'll still have to be some content that appeals to a larger audience. Now you could build your own meme page. You could apply to companies also, but at the same time, you'll have to be sure that you can. If you work for a company, then a lot you have to create enough memes on a regular basis that relate to the brand and relate to the industry. So you'll have to make sure that not only you but people who follow that topic or understand that industry get it. If you want to do it as a job. If you want to run your own meme page, then you are let's say then you have the freedom to choose whatever industry you want, but at the same time at some point you do start getting influenced by what the audience wants. Like for example, you'll see a lot more traction on memes which have nsfw images versus the ones which don't. But if you make a funny meme, that can easily do better than anything that people might create. So keep creating them. And the thing is that the beauty of jokes, memes, and content is that we have the means to get live feedback from the world. So whether it's if you send it to 5 people and if one of them shares, then you know that this meme, and they don't share it because you told them, "Yeah, please share kar de." They share it because they found it relatable or funny.
Yeah,
That's when you know the meme is hitting the right way nerves for a lot of people. Because
exactly.
because at the end, whatever work you do, whether it's memes, whether it's code or anything, at the end, you see na how much is it working, or is it sort of how do I say, solving the purpose that you created it for. So if it works, then you can easily make a career out it. If it doesn't, then you know where to improve.
Yeah. Uh, Also, what about like, would it be a sustainable career, for example, financially? Right now I have two paths. Either I go like for my uh, field of study, which is civil engineering. I find a job and spend rest of my life working as an engineer. So if I choose the different path, for example, going in the field of content creation or memes, so would it be sustainable? Would I make? Yeah.
Matlab again, so one, I don't feel that we choose a career and we have to do it for the rest of our lives.
Mhm.
I worked very hard in my civil subjects. I used to get good marks there, bad marks everywhere else, and I was sure of being a civil engineer, but I quit in 3 months. And every 2 years, like I have had a career of about 7-8 years. Every 2 years, I've switched or jumped paths. So it's not that if you decide to do civil engineering now, you will have to do it for the rest of your lives. You can always move when you find a better opportunity in a different field. Like I quit civil engineering simply because I found a startup job which paid me similar, at least, if not too high.
Mhm.
And I'm like, great. So the idea is, again, once you finish college, ideally I recommend everybody to be financially independent, irrespective of how well off your parents are. So because so once you finish college, you find the most optimum opportunity which one gives you a living and at the same time allows you to explore other things that you want to do.
Mhm.
Like right now, if you're in college, which year are you in?
I just finished my degree recently.
Fair enough. So do you have a joining job or date or soon?
I worked for a month and then I quit, and
Fair
now
enough.
I'm jobless. Yeah.
So then you can easily find, you can look for a content job. Worst case, look for at least look for a paid internship in content, that, or at least build a small portfolio. Like, are you apart from memes, are you creating any other content at this point?
No.
You have the entire day, create some content, create a portfolio. I'm not saying ki look for exactly what companies will do. Like, think if you want to do social media, do you want to do blogs, do you want to do a different form of content writing? Write a few pieces, prepare it as portfolio, start applying for companies that are looking for content roles. There will be a lot of content agencies, there will be a lot of companies. There are a lot of companies that might say that, okay, come on board as an intern for 2-3 months and then we'll see. So in those 3 months, you'll also realize whether you want to do that kind of work or not. And they'll also realize that whether you're a good fit or not. If they say that you're not good of it, ask for feedback. That what is it that you find was good? What is it that you feel I need improvement on?
Mhm. Okay. So how do I look for like these companies? So I've right currently no idea. So how do I go about it?
There's LinkedIn, there is angel.co. You can Google content marketing jobs or you content writing jobs, and
Mhm.
you should find there's Hirect also, few other things. And
Okay.
just create just write content that you can show ki this is what I write. Like,
Mhm.
write 3 blogs, 10 tweets, or if you're applying for a certain company, like what I did was I created memes specifically for Slice, even though I was not hired.
Mhm.
So if you're applying, let's say, to a company, let's say Zomato, then you can, well, Zomato will be tough because their content bar is very high. But you can create content which you feel will be right for that, and show that you're more than interested. Like, it's not just ki you just sent a resume. Like most people, what I feel they do wrong is they just send their resume and their regular portfolio to every company and hope that they take the pain and the time of evaluating that and then thinking, will this person be able to write for us or not? Truth is, they are getting a lot of applications. They're also busy. So make their lives easy. Like, jump one step, create content that you think that you'll be expected to create in that job.
Okay.
Of course, they might give you another test after that. But if you're willing to do a little more extra work, you will definitely get extra rewards.
Mhm. And yeah, finally, my last question: what kind of mindset do you need to have in the field of content creation and comedy or memes? So, how do I go about in my daily life and develop a mindset?
I don't have like I don't think there's a right answer to this. Like, okay, one, if everybody has that mindset, they'll do good well in comedy. There are people who have a happy life and do good comedy. There are people who are unhappy, which is why they are able to do good comedy. There
Mhm.
are other people also. It's not just these two. Some people, there have been comedians who, when they had a job, they used to write great content because there was frustration and inspiration coming from their job. Then their career did well. They quit their job, and then their quality of jokes started dipping. So there's no one solution for all. Just put in honest effort. Like, if you're currently not working, then you at least have 8 to 10 productive hours a day. Spend 2 to 3 hours looking for a job, 2 to 3 hours writing content, making your portfolio. 2-3 hours, let's say if you're trying to do comedy, write comedy and sure. Spend an hour trying to understand what's happening in the world, being a little aware. What is it that's working?
Mhm.
But yeah, the one mindset that you should not have is sitting idle and hoping things work out.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, dude, I feel sad that I have become so serious. But it's okay. It's important. And even if you later have more questions, just DM me on any of the platforms. But yeah, if you're looking for a job, be like, brush up your LinkedIn profile and be active in applying.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll definitely try that.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that's it. You
Uh,
have answered all my questions. Thanks a lot,
no
Gav,
problem,
and
buddy.
thanks a lot, Chandan.
So, anyone else who wants to come up? Chandan, do you want to do another story? Hridaya has been typing for too long. I am also now curious. What was he typing in the No Mic channel and then disappeared? Like, I've never been that nervous with my ex also. Okay. Hridaya's like, how can one be more interesting in social life? Lol, I overthink a lot. Uh, again, matlab, for me, comedy has worked. For other, like the how I navigate my social life is that matlab, I'm known for making parties fun, not bragging. Actually, bragging. But the idea is you have to be interested in getting to know them first, and then probably help them add a layer. So, for example, if Chandan, I am assuming you are currently working at Bluelearn, right?
I am, let's say, as an intern at Bluelearn. It's my part time. I'm a student still.
Okay, what are you studying?
I'm pursuing my BBA from Christ University, Bangalore.
Oh, amazing. Your neighbor, yeah. I'm in Kormangla right now.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm in third cross.
I'm right at Sony Signal.
Ah, okay.
Huh. So you're studying BBA and working at Blue Run. So
Yeah.
do you play any sports?
Yes. Thought about football.
Football, Kulululu Tough Park or somewhere else?
There's this place called Football Alley somewhere at the end of Kormangla. So yeah, I've been there yesterday.
Oh, nice, nice. There are two or three grounds in a row, and then there are swimming pool and badminton courts also. Is that the place?
No, no, no. This is not that place. Like, I'll tell you the story. Yesterday, when we were traveling, it took like a really, really, really long time to figure out. Would you want to build a story out of this? Like, would you want to give me the context?
No, no. Just I'm just interested in your life. That's it.
Sure, sure. So yesterday we took this electric bounce, and then it's the worst experience ever. It literally, I got to push my friend on the bike because it's not moving. On a traffic signal, it's just stuck. And for a hill, let's say for an uphill, it's a disaster. So yeah, and it took us like 30 minutes to find out a place which is like 10 minutes away on a bike. Okay, what do you want to know about me, Garv?
No, this only. I was just asking how your day went, and this is also the answer to the question in the no mic section, which
Ah,
was how to
yeah.
be more interesting in social life, be interested in others. Because we just found out that Chandan yesterday had a Dhoom experience, but in slow motion. And I could only make that joke because I got to know a little bit more about it.
Hmm.
Trying to do with examples, we have Vinde who has raised his hand.
I've sent the request. When you just need to press on the button and that's it. You hear. Yes.
Evening, sir.
Just one thing for everyone, please don't call me sir. Garv is okay. I'm used to, well, in other circumstances, I would have said cuss words are also fine, but Garv is fine for now. Vinde.
Okay, girl. I heard your introduction. It was very cool. The way you explained LinkedIn, the way you said about the my employee of the month, it was very good. And I want to know nothing personal here. I'm not asking about anything about stand-up comedy. I want to know how do you think differently? What makes you think differently? Whether you read books or you watch more videos or more interactions. How do you think? I mean, I'm asking that how you see things differently than the other people see it, the same thing.
Very simple. Matlab, just see first, you know how they're seeing it. Na? Like, let's say, for example, everybody will tell you read more books, do this, do that, and this will work. So you know how most people are going to react to things. Like, just like, let's say, for example, matlab, I hope I don't become a parent ever, but most parents will say, beta, study and then life will be fine. I'd say, don't study at all. Like, waste your time as much as possible and get so bored, because my hypothesis is that at one point kids will get so frustrated with wasting their time and then they'd want to do something productive, and once they are at that stage nobody can stop them and they want to do the boring work on their own. So the idea is to think in the opposite direction, find out the direction where everybody is, and then just turn 180 degrees. I'll give you a small example how I discovered this works is that when we first entered college in first year, we had access to a lot of movies at a very high download speed thanks to DC++. And my friend who had been studying very hard for the past 3 years to get into college decided to watch movies. And he discovered a folder on the server called IMDb 250, which had the top 250 movies of all time on IMDb. He started watching them, and we did not see him for 3 semesters. He came out in the third semester and then said, "Guys, I finished IMDb 250. Now, what should I do in life?" And the problem was that after that, he started attending more classes than we ever did. He even took extra subjects and got better marks, and then eventually ended up with a higher CGPA. So, yeah, sometimes, but don't try that in terms of drugs. Please, no. That's an absolute no. Or for any substance for that matter. But I think I've drifted a long way away from your question, Vinde. Your question was how to think differently. I'll say that again. Know how everybody's thinking and then find a way to not. If you want, we can do a live example. Tell me a situation where you feel you'll need this.
Okay, it works in your field. I mean, in comedy, you just turn it on 180 degree, it works, right?
Hopefully, not always, but then we have the option of trying it in an open mic and then crossing it out. Oh, this did not work. And then try a different direction.
Okay, even the example was really good.
So if you want to, like you asked now, how do you think differently? Give me a situation where you would want to think differently but are not able to.
Okay. I went to a shopping mall today.
All right.
Okay, I saw really fat guy who was Coach Potato. He was, with his lace pack and a Mountain Dew can.
All right.
And a girl with very short. She was really short and she was very slim. She came and asked whether she can get in. And he just showed his can and lace. Then she just shut up and went back.
She wanted, so he was standing where? Like, where did the girl want to get in?
No, they were getting to the counter to get the bill.
Oh, okay. So now again, the girl wanted to get in, didn't get. Now, like I'm taking the case from the girl's perspective. She came. There's a guy who's visibly large and she will mostly not find space to get in.
Yeah.
Now, if she asks space and he has a bad attitude, doesn't let her go in, fine. The how I would treat is I would just say to him, "Hey, I want to speak to you. Can you come here?" And in most cases, the guy would not decline, or he'd at least be interested. And the moment he steps forward, she's like, "Oh, I forgot," and go to the counter.
No, what I'm saying is that he didn't even speak a word. He just showed his lace back and can, and he just moved.
Okay. I think I've not gauged the situation properly. So she wanted to get, he moved and she was able to go.
No. He didn't move. He said he was just rejected by showing the can and he showed the lace back. He just rejected through it.
Okay. So the problem here is that the girl wanted to go and could not go, or is the problem something else?
No. The girl wanted to get in and get the bill fast, but it was not possible.
Correct. So the girl wanted to get into the counter faster, but she was not able to.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Now, if she asks him to step, say that she wants to talk to him, or say that she wants his number, she takes his number and then shows, "I'm sending it to a doctor. You need to visit him," and then go to the counter. That would have been thinking a little differently there.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am. I wish it had turned out better, but then again, a learning for all of us. Not all experiments in comedy work, which is why you need to keep iterating. And, yes, man. Any other questions anybody else wants to come up? Waste your time as much as possible. 2022. And then this is going to bite me back in the ass at some point. But yes, man. You know how I optimized my time was that I bought Ankur Wariku's time management course and didn't log in. And I've at least saved that time. I know I could have saved more, but I'm happy in this year.
I mean, Garv, I would say I would agree upon that to a particular level because I'm the one who bought it and I did it.
See, both of us are chilling here.
I know. So, Garv, I would say like most of the sessions that we organize here are like a conversation between, let's say, like we talk about how the career started, how the progression started, what you see, let's say, your career as, let's say, it used to be more of a, let's say, job interview kind of a thing, which even I don't want it to be. But Garv, like you made this the way it was supposed to be, making doubts super clarified to people and everyone. And this is really great, man.
Man, glad I could be of help.
So before we end the session, okay, would you wanna say something?
I just say that again, I don't have too much context about who all are here. My guess has been, considering how much I know Harish, is that most of you are either students or people early on in their career trying to discover what you want to do. My suggestion is that don't worry that, okay, like it's not a decision that you have to hold on to for 20 years. It's okay if you're wrong. People change careers at 35, 40 also. It well, and in case it doesn't work out, if you don't enjoy it, switch. Nobody needs you to have 10 years of experience in some. There's some jobs do, but it's not compulsory. Everybody has to be 10 years in one field only. Rakesh is not able to decide whether he wants to raise his hand or not, but Jon Snow does. So both of you, if you have questions, we'll quickly take it and then we'll let Chandan go and play football.
Okay.
Bring all of them up so that they can ask one by one. Hi, Jon Snow.
Done.
हाँ और अभी मैंने आपका इंस्टाग्राम चेक किया, कंटेंट अच्छा है थोड़ा बहुत, आपका पसंद आया। और एक सजेशन, अगली बार से बताना मत कि आप कमरे के साथ हो, वरना बीजेपी लोग ऐसे अनफॉलो कर देंगे आप।
कौन लोग अनफॉलो कर देंगे?
बीजेपी वाले।
अरे सर कर दें वो मैं वो देख लिया अभी। देर आर 2 बीजेपी पॉलिटिशियंस दैट फॉलो मी करंटली ऑल्सो। मैं प्रोफाइल का मॉनिटरिंग इसलिए रखता हूँ बिकॉज देन आई नो कि किस पे केस आ सकता है। तो ठीक है, अरे पॉलिटिकल डिवाइड्स तो टेम्पररी है। लाइक देयर इज वन पॉलिटिशियन हु हैज बीन इन कांग्रेस फॉर इयर्स, नेक्स्ट डे यू वेक अप एंड फाइंड आउट ही हैज जॉइंड बीजेपी। Some days later they keep switching parties, then we followers also keep switching, so don't think too much. If that's to attack you, then they will attack you.
या और बस एक सवाल था कि आपने स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी जब ट्राई किया था, तो ऐसे कभी हुआ कि आप रेगुलर स्टेज पे जा रहे हो, आप फ्लॉप हो रहे हो, मतलब कंटिन्यूअसली ऐसा रो में कभी हुआ है क्या?
पहला 6 महीना
पहले 6 महीने कंटिन्यूअसली फ्लॉप हुए,
कंटिन्यूअसली।
फिर ये मतलब स्टेज
the only reason I was able to go again and again was because मेरा flatmate और ज्यादा boring था.
Oh god, nice.
And the second good part is that when you're participating in an open mic, na, even if you are not funny, at least some people will be. And because you are a participant, you don't have to buy a ticket. So I'm like, even if I bomb, I will at least enjoy a few jokes.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. That was my question. Yeah.
Rakesh, and then
last thing, मैंने आपको मॉम का एग्जिबिट देखा, वो बहुत अच्छा था, बहुत क्यूट लगा. It was nice.
Thank you so much, man. My mom has been teaching for almost 30 years, 35 years. And the reason I'm discussing this in detail is it's a very proud moment. I also found out yesterday that on 3rd of March, she'll be becoming a headmistress in her school, finally, after years of teaching. So she's worked very hard and I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Just as you know, I'm just assuming when you're sober self, you're doing this much comedy generally. What if you become high when you take weed and alcohol combined together? What will be the scenario? Can you just explain to the world?
So my stance on substances, like I don't know the age of everyone, so I'll not recommend things here. But what I will say is that substances, or let's say weed or drugs, are a cheap substitute for people who have lack of personality. Because as most people, if you see a lot of people you'll see that saying that listen to Pink Floyd after weed and it becomes better, or some. If content has to, like, if you have to be in your half senses to enjoy something, then that content is not good. Or if you feel that this person becomes too much fun after having weed, then it's the substance that's fun, not the person. And I personally strive to be someone who's better than drugs. Like if somebody had to choose, if I go to this friend's place, I will have drugs. If I go to girl's place, I will have fun. And if they prefer me, then I know I have won and I'm more interesting than any substance can be. And that's my goal. So hopefully, uh, one day, if you have the option of like, if you are invited to two house parties and one of them has drugs, other has me, and the day you choose me, I'll be very happy.
So when you come to sir, when I will come to Bangalore, sir, definitely I wanted to meet you, sir, because you are my inspiration. Become I wanted to be stupid. I have the role model to being stupid, sir.
I don't keep anyone as inspiration. Just see, okay, these are the things I want to learn from this person. These are things want to learn from that person. Don't वो कहते हैं ना, idealization of anyone usually ends up bad. But yes, more than happy. I'll probably think I've been thinking, so I'll probably have a public meetup somewhere in Bangalore soon, and whichever cities I go to. So just keep checking my Instagram, and I'll announce it there.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I really a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Same here, Rakesh. Ayush, thanks for waiting for so long, man. Go ahead with your question.
Am I audible?
A little less. You can try to be louder, but we can still hear you.
Hello? Yes, am I audible now?
Much better, buddy.
Okay, okay. So I'm a student, and like you said that in early stages you need to explore, and if things doesn't work out, you need to switch things, right?
Correct.
So from a past 1 year, I'm trying to create content online on YouTube, and at starting stages I am creating content related to technical stuffs like coding and kind of stuff this type. And suddenly after 10 or 11 month later, I my interest changes.
Correct. So
And
you
it was
very
not
good.
easy to change the content, because I have already gained almost one k, more than 1k subscribers who are interested in that stuff. And like now I am with different interest, and it is not easy for me to decide what should I do.
हाँ, मतलब if you want, देखना, for those 1,000 people, will you keep making content on things that you're not interested in? I hope not.
Yes, yes.
Correct. So you do what you want to do next. Some people might leave. You'll hopefully will get new people. And think about it this way, that if Tanmay Bhatt can go from making videos about patriarchy to crypto to then stocks and then crypto after millions of followers, you can do it after 1,000.
Yes, definitely. But what's the मतलब बाद में भी तो इंटरेस्ट और चेंज हो सकता है, तो ये कब तक चेंज होते रहेगा और कब तक ऐसा चलते रहे?
लिमिट क्यों होना यार, मतलब अगर एक ही चीज पे रहोगे तो देन देयर आर मोर चांसेस ऑफ लेट्स से आइदर बिकमिंग इररिलेवेंट और पीपल मूविंग ऑन. एट द एंड एवरीबॉडी हैज टू इवॉल्व एंड ग्रो. यू विल वेदर यू लाइक इट और नॉट. सो व्हाट्स द हार्म इन कीपिंग, मतलब चेंजिंग?
Yes, definitely. I got little bit of clarity now.
Happy to hear it. Otherwise, also check out, there's again, I think Harish's batchmate or college friend only, Ishan Sharma on YouTube. He has,
Yes,
I
yes.
think, huh.
Yes,
So Ishan
I,
started with coding, then came to self-help books, is now making, also one day decides to make books on stocks, also sometimes on crypto. So
Hmm.
every time it's a proper, how do I say, box of chocolates is what I see on Ishan's channel. So,
Yeah.
and it's still working.
Yes.
Awesome. So I think I'll just check the no mic channel also once. ठीक है, nothing that I missed. Rakesh says Guru Kannada Barutha. I'm not sure if I understand that. I'm copying it. I'll translate it after this. Hridaya says you should become a part-time teacher. You'll explain really well. You'd be my first student, but again, no, yaar. Matlab, I feel I'm not sure if I'll enjoy being a teacher. But yeah, man, if you guys have questions later on, just DM me on any of the social media. I'll post my links again if possible. Let me have it. Otherwise, thank you so much, Chandan, for having me.
Garv, I would say I've learned a lot, and thanks, man. Thanks for coming. And by the way, I have all of your links. I'm pasting them again on the no mic section. Oh, okay. You sent it.
Oh yeah,
You
and
can hear it.
maybe what we'll do is like if it's still in the interests of Bluelearn, I enjoyed doing the story wala thing again. So probably 2 or 3 months later, we'll again take suggestions from. It's a part of improv comedy also. We'll take suggestions or something from the audience and try making something similar. If till then there are a few people who have either made a separate channel or know each other here only who want to do comedy, then we can have them also in the audience. We'll bring them, help them sort of learn also, and will be fun. But I'll not keep, but I'll not keep you too long, Chandan. We've already exceeded 13 minutes. I'm sure you also have plans. It's anyways Valentine's week, so you're not even an engineer, so there are very high chances that you have a partner also. So
Okay, that's a joke again. Yeah.
hey, then what's the point of going to Christ? What are you doing, Chandan?
See, hosting people is what gives me a lot of fun.
नहीं नहीं of course do मतलब ऐसा don't date in pressure that you're supposed to or because it's a social norm.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want, and I'll sign off. Nice speaking to you all. Hopefully see you guys around, and I'll finally use the button I've been really wanting to for a while. It's called exit quietly.
He just pressed it. All right. Thanks a lot, Garv. I mean, it's been a great show, right? Okay, if you'd like it, just put a yes or a thumbs up in the chat. I mean, chat ka matlab the no mic section. Can I see that? Can I see that? Just put yes. Just do it, guys. And that is Garv Malik. And my name is Chandan Perla. You're right now on one of India's biggest student community called Bluelearn. For more such information, for more such amazing content, this is where you got to come. Every single day we try to push the boundaries of what we do every single day. And so yeah, see you again and bye.